are so many people at once, so many people that no single history could possibly make sense of their present. I found that to be a really beautiful part of the book. So, welcome, Nathan.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you all for coming.
Is your mic on?
Maybe. There we go. I said thank you.
We're going to hear right now from Josh Hamilton, who's going to read a small section of the book. Do you want to introduce the section that he's going to read at all, or should we roll with it?
That's, really, that takes, for that to sound as eloquent and easy, it takes so much work. And thank you truly so much. And that bathroom is my nightmare. I tell my, you couldn't pay me to go to the bathroom next to my classroom. I tell my students, come up with a number, not worth it. But oh yeah, back to my poor editor who's done 4 books with. I said there's no way to sum up this book that doesn't sound like a telenovela. You're like, the general's in a coma. You know, like, I don't know what I did to the poor woman. So yes, there's no setting up anything in this book. So
okay, let me introduce Josh. Okay, so to read from Dinner at the Center of the Earth tonight is Josh Hamilton. You can find out more about him in your program, but the short version is that Josh recently appeared at the Signature Theatre in Annie Baker's The Antipodes and across the pond at London's National Theatre in Evening at the Talk House. You may recognize him from his many film credits and recent roles in 13 Reasons Why and Madam Secretary. In the near future, you'll be able to spot Josh on your TV screen in the upcoming movie At Home with Amy Sedaris. Nice. Please join me in welcoming Josh.
Dinner at the Center of the Earth. Z tells her about those sweet and pure years in Jerusalem, the peace process years. He tells the waitress how wonderful it felt to live there, even with the terror that darkened so many days. He shares with her his memories of what it was like to be the new immigrant, what it meant for him to make do while he was broke and alone, and yet always exhilarated by that ancient city. He was so busy then, becoming fluent in Hebrew, getting himself educated, and embarking on a career that quickly turned into a secret other. When he had his Hebrew to study and his schoolwork to do, he would always take the bus up the mountain, even if his classes had been down on Givat Ram. He'd hop off at the last stop and file past security, pausing for inspection by one of the old men, and they were always old, whose investigations consisted of pressing their fingers to the bottom of his book bag, as if checking to see if it was ripe. Z would settle into the library's 4th floor, feeling himself cocooned in a vision of Israel's brightest possible future. That's what he was trying to express to the waitress. How, for him, for his dreams of what Israel might become, Mount Scopus summed it up. Crammed together at those study tables were religious and secular, Arab and Jew, rich and poor, white and brown, and sometimes black. The social groupings based on subject and course. The focus of the students, as with all universities the universe over, resting on the twin pillars of learning and getting laid. That campus was a place of sex and study, a refuge from the attendant politics and attendant hatreds that constantly rattled the state. It was as if all of that noise was filtered out, and what was left was just pure hope. They were up on that mountain waiting for the inevitable harmony to set in, a promised change that had literally drawn Z from America. He had moved to Israel to contribute to that happy age. He had rushed his Aliyah, transferring to Hebrew University in the middle of his graduate degree, because he was afraid if he stayed in America any longer, he'd miss it. He was afraid peace would start without him. Z admits, in response to the waitress's question, that, of course, there were the junior politicians in student government and the junior idiots and crackpots on campus who would one day, likewise, see their professional idiocies and crackpotitudes blossom. But the overarching dominant goodness and happy idealism of the place easily drowned them out. Nothing better demonstrated the unique normality of that oasis than the unstated policy that one could leave one's bag on a table and for a few moments walk away. Really, outside of the university, Z could think of no other place in the whole country where a bag left unattended wouldn't have the first person to spot it yelling out without hesitation, the bomb squad summoned, a cordon immediately thrown. So often and frequently did this happen that whenever anyone was late to a dinner or a drink, all they would need to say was, "Suspicious object." Everyone's permanent, eternally reusable excuse. Z always remembers the face of a businessman running back.